High school, you get made fun of. It's a girl sport, so obviously your sexuality comes into play on, is he straight or is he gay? We fought back, we counter-offered. We said, well, no, we're not doing this, we want this, and this is what's gonna happen. And so they fought back and said, well, if that's the case, we need X, Y, and Z amount of money.
So this is not just some after-school program, some place to drop your kids off for a few hours so they can have fun. This is serious training for people who are serious about cheerleading. Today, we are on the podcast with Andre Walker, Performance Athletics. This is Mind Your Own Business, and I am Jerry Parisi. Thank you, Andre, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And we've met before. You have an awesome story, but your business is called Performance Athletics. Tell us what Performance Athletics is.
Performance Athletics, we're actually an adolescent fitness and consulting company. We do train some adult fitness here and there, but our main service is training ages between 16 months to that 18 years old athlete.
Gotcha. And do you focus on a certain type of sport or performance area?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. What's that focus?
We train all sports, but we specialize in competitive, sideline, and game day cheerleading.
Cheerleading. Awesome.
Correct. Yes.
Cool. And that's how you got started, right? So you got started in the cheerleading world. I think you cheered in college. Is that right?
That is.
Take us back to your cheerleading journey.
Wow. How much time we have? I started at the age of 15.
Okay.
From going from playing multiple other sports to finding a passion in this sport. And I just took it and ran, learned myself certain skills, had a lot of mentors through that time to help me, at coaches, teachers, things like that. And when I found that I can get a full ride scholarship in the sport, that's when I put my head down and went full force.
Yeah, that'll do it. So where'd you go to school?
I went to high school at Decula High School.
Okay.
And then from there, I went to Shelton State Community College on a full ride scholarship.
Nice. And tell us about after college, you stayed in cheerleading, right?
Yes. So after college, it was a community school. So I only did 2 years. So still pretty young, finishing school. I got a great opportunity working for a company called UCA. Basically what it is you get to travel and basically train kids all over the states.
Cool.
And also at that time, I was working for a cheerleading gym as well. And basically I was just building my resume, building my connections in the industry and seeing where this can take me.
Let me ask you this. As a male in the cheerleading industry, have you run into any, obstacles? Has it been hard as a man to be in, what I would consider a female-dominated sport?
I think hard is kind of sugarcoating it. It was extremely hard, if I should say, from when I very first stepped foot into the sport. High school, you get made fun of. It's a girl sport, so obviously your sexuality comes into play on, is he straight or is he gay? And none of that affected me because I know who I am as a person, but that was a huge thing because it was a male in a dominant, female sport.
Sure.
But then, and also, people looking at you like, this isn't right? Why are you doing this? You should be playing football or another sport. And so it was having to navigate through that. With having a community to help me with that.
Gotcha. But it sounds like you're very confident in who you are, that you were able to overcome all those sort of,
yes,
thoughts about
very
men and cheerleading.
That was the one thing that got me to where I am today, is the confidence in myself and knowing, my direction and my path from a young age at 15 in the sport. So yeah, I was very headstrong about navigating through it and kind of figuring it out as I go.
How do you think you developed that confidence?
Multiple different areas. One, obviously my upbringing, having a strong mother to support all of my journeys and whatever I wanted to get myself into, having her support, but also being very passionate about whatever I put my hands on. From what my mom and dad tells me from when I was a kid, whatever I did, I was very, very passionate about it, whether if that's emotionally or anything that I was involved with, I put full effort into it, and it stuck with me.
Gotcha. And so I'm assuming you're very passionate about performance athletics.
Sometimes a little bit too passionate. I know there's a work-life kind of balance,
Sure.
but there's never a day where I'm not full force in the business. Thank God that I have the luxury to have a partner, my wife, co-owner of Performance Athletics as well, to understand the business. So that helps a lot with the house and the home life and the family as well.
Awesome. And what's your wife's name?
Her name is Devin Walker.
Devin. Let's shout out Devin.
Yep, Devin Walker, co-owner of Performance Athletics and marketing director of the company as well.
Awesome. Cool. Take me back to when you first had the idea for Performance Athletics. Where were you? What were you doing in your life? Where did that spark come from?
So I've been coaching athletes since I was 15 years old. I've always had a passion for the sport as an athlete, but when I learned that I can be able to coach as well and portray that passion to an actual child and a kid, that's where it started, the passion of what I wanted to do eventually in this industry. I would say maybe about 2018 is when I genuinely felt, okay, I can do this. From 2018, put my head down, learned, got involved with a lot of different industries within the cheer industry, meaning judging all-star competitions, doing choreography, dabbling in other services within the sport. And then I noticed, I was like, I can do this. And the huge thing about Performance Athletics is that we integrate fitness. A lot of cheerleading gyms, gymnastics facilities, they're not fitness oriented. And I have a fitness background as well. And so once I realized that I can, turn things upside down, I was like, this is time to do this. And so 2018 was when I really was confident in myself. And then we eventually launched 2023.
Okay. So it took about 5 years from really putting your head down to working on this idea to grand opening. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Tell us a little bit more about the training that you just mentioned, the fitness training aspect of your gym and how that coordinates with the cheerleading training.
Yeah, great question. Great question, because this right there is what's missed in the industry.
Yeah, so this is your differentiator, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of gyms, you go into those gyms for specific training, whether if that's tumbling, whether if that's stunting, whether if that's jumps and flexibility, whether if that's routine-oriented training for high schools, middle schools, and all-star gyms. And around all those services, there's no incorporation of fitness movements, right? So if I'm teaching a kid how to do a back handspring or any low-level skill or any skill in general, there's no fitness movements that kid can use to help them strengthen that actual tumbling skill. So what we've created is a service to do just that, meaning when a kid comes to our gym, we evaluate them, we see where their weaknesses are within their skill, and then we create workouts, fitness movements to enhance those body parts, to enhance that actual skill they're trying to get.
Awesome. So is it sort of like, is there any weight training? Is it calisthenics? Is it body weight movements? What exactly?
It's a combination of all. So we offer different services. Our group classes, our class setting, it's more of a strength and conditioning base.
Okay.
I'll give you a little bit more insight. We start with a full body dynamic warm up. All services are about an hour long. We start about 15 minutes with a full body warm up. Your cardiovascular movements, getting the blood flowing, your low intensity movements, your injury prevention movements, I would say, before actually getting into the actual skill itself. Once we get into the skill itself, then that's when we get super picky on progressing properly. And during that duration of working on the skill, we have an assignment to where you have to do X amount of workouts within that class time. So if I'm working with a child in a class, they are working with me with a skill, and then I send them over to a station to where they have fitness movements to enhance that skill. Whether it's that, let's say if they're not explosive enough out of their back handspring when they're landing, right? So my job is to create explosive movements for them separately to do after doing that specific drill.
Excellent. And this is something that's new in the industry that nobody else that you know of is doing this.
That I know of, especially in the state of Georgia. I don't know actually any company in the state of Georgia that is offering this particular service that we are.
That's a great niche to be in then.
Yes.
Yeah, something. What sort of challenges have you faced opening Performance Athletics?
A good bit of challenges. I think you can't live life without those challenges. That's what creates the passion, dedication after overcoming those challenges. For us, from 2023, 2024, we didn't have our own space. Okay. So essentially, we were just renting space out of my partner's legacy sports complex location in Swanee, Georgia. They approached me with a great partnership deal, and to basically grand open my own location within their location as partners in Houston, Georgia. So we were able to navigate through that. It was very hard not being in my own space, have my own company, but also being able to be in someone else's building. That was hard because, you're a business owner, you want to, show off what you got and, get to that next level. But I had to understand at that point that it wasn't the time for me to do that. And so put my head down, created revenue, created clientele, and the opportunity presented itself in 2024 with the new location we have now. So that was a challenge in itself.
Right. You mentioned that there was, you entered into this partnership agreement. That was a great deal for you.
Yes.
But did you have any hesitation giving up any sort of control over your own business at that time?
No full hesitation. It was more of being able to trust, understanding that the opportunity that's presented itself is a positive opportunity. Me being new in business, I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to a positive situation coming just like that, and me understanding that this is something I need to take. Life, I get opportunities all the time and I jump onto those, but me being new in the business space, I wasn't really familiar with that. So I didn't know if it was a negative or a positive opportunity.
But you took the jump. Took a leap of faith.
I did.
And dove into it.
And that part right there was the most scariest part.
Okay. So tell me about that. What did you fear?
I feared, am I doing the right thing for the business? Am I doing the right thing financially for my well-being of my family? Because before the time, I was very heavy in the fitness industry before launching as well. And so I had a 9-to-5. I had a really good, solid, income stream coming in. But when this opportunity came, that all would have been gone because I had to go full force into trusting this moment. And prayed about it, communicated with my wife heavily on it, and it just felt right because it was approached the right way.
Does your faith influence a lot of your business decisions?
It does.
Tell me about that a little.
I grew up in the church with my mother. I'm a person that has always been blessed in almost every situation I can talk about. I always had a lot of support from close friends and close family. And so it for me personally, it has to start with faith. You just don't wake up one day and receive good things, right? It has to start with a level of some kind of faith. And I'm a walking testimony of that to this day because I've had opportunities in my life to where I know that I deserved it because I had the faith to get there. And it's a huge part of who I am today.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
What's been the hardest part of running performance athletics? To me, running a gym for adolescents, I think I would find it challenging to deal with their parents sometimes. But tell me if you've had that same experience or if it's been something else.
I love that you just mentioned that because so typically in the cheerleading industry, you get competitive teams and it's your kids on a competitive team. And so in those situations, parents can be very much vocally involved, very passionate about their daughters, of course. But the good thing for us, we don't offer team services. Okay. So we only offer group training and one-on-one training. So we never have incidents where we have to, quote unquote, calm a parent down or quote unquote, relax a parent from what the coaches is doing to the team or whatever the case is. And so how we approach things, we're very open, we're very straightforward. The industry, parents want to see a quick fix, meaning they want their child to do X, Y, and Z, however fast they get there. We take the complete opposite approach. This is a process if it wants to be done the right way. And we tell our clients that if you don't want to be in this process and understand that this works, then it's okay. I can request you or give you information on another facility that you can fit best with, but that's how we run the program. We're very level-headed on having the parents understand what they're going to be encountering.
So this is awesome because you found a niche in the cheerleading industry that nobody else has really covered. And you've also been able to manage some of the stress that parents bring The way you tailor your stuff to groups and individuals rather than teams.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And we do offer team services. So as a contractor, essentially, schools will send their program to us to train their, schools, but we don't offer performance athletics, all-star competition team, right? We just train and vendor out.
So that can be another, I guess, helpful thing for you to get referrals from gyms that do those things, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about where you find your clients, how people come to you, what your marketing has been like.
Yeah. So I was fortunate this past season to be the community coach for Jefferson High School.
Oh, sweet.
So that's been amazing. I've been able to have that title in Gwinnett County for other high schools within the last 15, 16 years. But now that we're located in Houston, it felt right to be with the school in Jackson County. So that was huge for us. Having them come to our facility, being a part of the community, and getting those parents in our doors, having them see the structure of our classes, how we run business. And then from there, really, it's all word of mouth. Yes, we do a lot of social media. Yes, we do a lot of Google, Facebook, Instagram, things like that. But our service is I can't tell you how many phone calls I had on the way here from people calling me because they heard it from someone else.
Yeah.
At least 3 just on the drive over here this morning on inquiries from a friend of theirs that takes service with us.
That's awesome.
So that's huge for us.
Word of mouth referrals are usually the best because they've already been sold by somebody else, right? They've told, they've got that social proof. Somebody has told them all about you and your business and how great you are.
Yes.
And then it's a warm introduction. They're calling you. That's awesome. Tell me about your vision for performance athletics for 2026 and beyond. What are you looking at?
So we always say our goal is to bridge the gap between fitness and cheerleading, right? Most cheerleading industries, teams, high schools, they just don't do it. So that's our number one goal, no matter where we are with the business, is always bridging that gap. So our athletes can not just understand how to move efficiently, but also learn how to move efficiently after cheer is over. Adults, young parents, things of that nature. Our goal this year is to ramp it up. I say that because there's so much more to be learned with the sport. For instance, this Saturday, we have a coaches conference that we're hosting for GFL, which is the Gwinnett Football League. Those coaches that coached first grade through 8th grade, we're hosting a conference for them. It's called an educational conference. And we genuinely think it starts with our coaches. If we can educate our coaches, they can educate their athletes. And then we're also pushing that fitness within the adolescent age from first grade and up. So our goal is to push the limit on conferences, educational purposes. We're actually launching also at-home fitness program for cheerleaders. It's called Performance Athletics Cheerleading Fitness Program. And essentially what it is, it's about 1.5 years work of workouts and fitness training for your athlete for home. And we're really big in that project right now. And so that's the gearhead right now for us for this new year. And that'll be launching the end of this month.
And that's an online or virtual sort of training program.
Correct.
That somebody who may not have, be local to this gym, but may live across the country or anywhere they are, they can, I guess, subscribe to this platform.
That as well. We have a lot of clients that always ask, hey, what can my child do at home? Well, here you go. We've created a workout for you to do in your basement, wherever you want to. The real big thing about this project is in the sport of cheer, you have 3 essential positions. You're either a flyer, a person that is in the air majority of the time, a base, person that holds that flyer, and then a back spot, a person that spots that whole thing that's happening.
I think I'd be more of a flyer.
For sure. For sure. We can, let me know, we can stunt after this. Essentially, it's specific based to a personnel. So in multiple other sports, what happens is that you have, okay, follow this workout. Every person can do this workout, essentially. Every wide receiver, every running back can do the specific workout. However, for this particular project, it's specific for each position because each position is vastly different. A flyer essentially doesn't weigh or is the same height as a base, right? And so we create a program around each position so it's beneficial for that specific athlete.
Excellent. So that's individually tailored to their position that they want to learn more about.
Yep. It's like creating a workout program for a wide receiver and then also for offensive line.
Nice. Have you run into any legal hurdles during your business journey?
Yeah, we have, and I can say that we've won that legal battle.
Awesome.
But a couple of months ago, we had to understand and navigate on how to trademark our logo and our brand name. Again, like we stated here a second ago, me being new in the business space, I'm gonna have to navigate all this, figure it out, learn as I go, which was extremely humbling. But yeah, the name Performance Athletics apparently is very popular. Had no idea. I thought I was coming up with a genuine, cool little name that I thought felt great when I rolled off my mouth in 2023. But come to find out, there's 5 or 6 performance athletics out there. That's a brand name. And so we had to, talk to some attorneys and get some legal documents to, reserve that brand name so we can, grow as a business. But yeah, it was a company that their legal name was different, but they branded the name Performance Athletics. And, they didn't want anyone to else have it. Well, we fought back. I'm very passionate about, whatever my hands are on. And I got my CPA, she told me, she said, hey, you fight for this. This is your brand name. This is your future. And so I put my head down, fought for it, and we won. So Performance Athletics is our brand name.
Congrats.
Thank you.
How did you win that legal battle?
A lot of negotiation. So originally, how it worked, the USPTO, they send you out a listing saying,
That's the United States Patent and Trademark Office.
Correct.
Perfect.
Yes. They send out. So once you apply for a brand name, it takes about 3 to 6 months for them to do their homework, do their research, see if it's actually legit or not. And then if it is, they'll send it back to you. And then now you see, okay, you have all these names. You have the option to basically reach out to those other names and say, hey, we don't want y'all to have the name. So what's going to happen is my legal team is going to send you some documents saying, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z. So we received legal documents saying by X, Y, and Z, you need to take off your Facebook, take off your website because it's our brand name. You can't have any of that on it because it's our name. Those other 4 companies that got that information, they did that. They didn't want to fight back. So they dropped their website, they dropped their Facebook. I don't know what they did, but that's what they did. What we did, we fought back. We counteroffered. We said, well, no, we're not doing this. We want this. And this is what's going to happen. And so they fought back and said, well, if that's the case, we need X, Y, and Z amount of money. And we said, well, we're not paying money, but we can do this. So essentially what we did, we came to an agreement to where, and that company was an apparel company. We're not an apparel company. We're a fitness company. And so essentially we don't fight against each other or we don't go against each other when it comes to actual business. It was just the name itself. And we send back that what we'll do, we'll agree on, we won't quote unquote sell apparel in your state. We don't even sell apparel right now at this point. And if we do, it'll be in the state of Georgia first. And so they agreed to that term. And so we have a good term for 10 years.
Excellent. So that's a pretty fair resolution, it sounds like.
At this point in the stage where we're at the business, I think that was pretty good common ground.
Well, congrats on that win.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Amazing.
6 months.
6 month fight?
6 months fight, yes.
Oh, that's nothing in the legal industry.
That's good to hear.
What sort of, in getting into this industry and, opening in 2023, what did you underestimate about the industry or maybe the area of business that you're in that you can tell us about?
Yeah, I underestimated myself, honestly, because navigating through the cheerleading industry, I've always done not by myself, but I've always had a vision for myself. And when launching Performance Athletics, I had to learn that I couldn't do everything by myself. Okay. So it took me some humbling and understanding that I can't, especially now with a loving family that I have now. So finding people to hire, creating a standard for the business, understanding who to trust with my business and bringing them on board. I think that was really critical for me. in the beginning phases of it for sure.
That's amazing. So you were able to see that in yourself, to learn early on that you had to delegate and let go of some things. Tell me about the culture that you're building with performance athletics and how you, I guess, use that culture to delegate and let other people take over, knowing and understanding what culture you're trying to build.
Yeah, we have I run a tight ship, really tight, to where it's fun still, but it's a standard for sure because quality is key. When I used to be in the fitness industry, I was a general manager for a lot of fitness chains, LA Fitness, Orange Theory. So I was able to understand the operations of how to run basically big brand gyms. And I just basically took the philosophy of that kind of mindset and incorporated it into performance athletics, meaning the standard that we have is, we talk about 4 things all the time I harp on: proactive, productive, confidence, and consistency. Those are the 4 things that I wrap my business around. And those are essentially my 4 standards that I create for my staff. Because that's what it comes down to, is trusting our staff and putting them in the situation to run a business, so I can be able to run a business as well. But they understand the standard, right? And I'm also very fortunate enough to hire employees that I've coached. So they already know my expectations as a business owner.
Gotcha.
I have an employee right now. I coached her when she was 3 years old.
Nice.
And she's a senior in high school. And so that's helped out tremendously with holding a standard, having them understand it and abide by it, and knowing where the vision is for the company.
Excellent. So what I'm hearing is faith, relationships, standards, and culture has been the foundation of performance athletics.
Yes, very, very much so.
What is one thing you want to tell the world about performance athletics, or anything else for that matter, heading into 2026?
There's a lot that goes on in the world. My passion, my wife and I's passion is kids. We love the youth. I'm going on 18 years in the industry. My wife going on 16 years in the industry. We've always had a passion to work with kids. So at the end of the day, I forget that I'm a business owner because I like to coach, right? I like to be hands-on with athletes on the floor, working with them, training with them, showing them how to do things. And my word to the community, my word to the world is that we are that missing piece if your child wants to work hard. We only train athletes that will put in the work. And we tell our clients this. We have conversations with our parents about these things. It won't work if your child just wants to come play or if they want to just be in a facility to have fun. We produce results. So we do mean business when we are working, and our clients see that. And so we're big on progression, and our clients trust that. But we also, our actions speak very loud. Our parents seeing results from their kids gives us enough solidification that we are doing the right thing for our industry and also for our community. And so at the end of the day, letting the community know, letting the world know is that when you step foot in performance athletics, things will get done. Whether that's in 2 days, 4 days, 3 months, your child will progress. It's going to come down to how hard your child wants to work and how bad they want to get to where they want to get to. And that's something that is being missed in our industry heavily.
Gotcha. So this is not just some after-school program, some place to drop your kids off for a few hours so they can have fun. This is serious training for people who are serious about cheerleading. Mm-hmm. But also there are scholarship opportunities. This can lead to a pathway for you to get your education and open other doors, correct?
I'm a walking testimony of it. I played 4 sports and then quit all 4 just to get a scholarship for cheerleading. And so it's definitely an avenue that has gotten a lot bigger, right? Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great cheerleading gyms out there that produce great athletes. But there's always that next level, that next step that athlete needs, right? They just can't practice 4 days a week on their cheer team and expect to make a D1 school their senior year. It's impossible. In 2026, athletics is out the roof now. So you have to level up. You have to get to that next level. And we help those families get to that next level. I've written so many letter of recommendations for kids for schools. And I've introduced so many kids in the Mid-South to schools for scholarships and for cheerleading opportunities because the sport is very well known. But it's very disappointing when they're not getting there properly or they're getting hurt too prematurely. And so that's where we come in at. We work with some colleges as well on, creating recruitment clinics. We have some projects coming up this summer on that as well to help our kids that we train in our gym get exposed to these schools and to help them grow and kind of see what they can get to once they get to that level. And that right there is the passion as well for 2026. Now, to the other side, we also offer recreational training as well. So yes, PA, we have a standard. If you're a high level athlete in the cheerleading space, come to us. But if you're 7, 8, 9 years old, we have a recreational program for you as well to learn.
Just get started in cheerleading.
Yeah. Tumbling classes, fitness classes. Obviously we're not too high strong in those classes because they're a lot younger, but
you're not screaming at 7-year-olds.
Yeah, no. I mean, a standard is still the standard, but we understand that working with kids. I mean, you have to when you're working with kids. I train my employees to understand that you have to coach each kid separately and you have to coach each kid differently. You can't coach every kid the same. And so with that approach, that mom, that dad is over the moon happy. And because they see us in the process with their child, developing them, not just for today, but eventually in the future as well.
Cool. So it sounds like you've got performance athletics mission and vision, culture all down, right?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody who wants to start their own business, whether it's in your industry or something totally different? What advice would you give to that person who's thinking about starting a business?
Yeah, this might not be the best advice, but I would say go big or go home. Honestly, genuinely, truly. When we first launched, my wife and I, we put everything into it. Everything. Passion, finance, everything. And we knew this is what we wanted to do. They always say have a plan B, a plan C. Well, we've been in the industry for so long that we can go back and, coach a team if we want to or travel and judge like we used to. But we weren't worried about a plan B or plan C because we've created a passion for ourselves, for the industry, that we knew exactly what we wanted to do. It was a matter of doing it. And so if I'm going to give any advice to anyone, you don't just, lollygag around, right? If you want it, go get it. And you got to find that drive, find that passion, whether if that's something that you've created or something you have to seek out. But if it's in you, go. What are you holding back from? And if you're holding back from something, figure that out first. But full force.
Awesome. You heard that here first. Go big or go home. Okay. And once again, we were here with Andre Walker.
Yes.
Tell us the name of the business again.
Andre Walker, Performance Athletics.
How do people find you?
Fitness and Controlling Company. Anyone can find me on social media. We are at Performance Athletics LLC on Instagram. We are at Performance Athletics LLC on Facebook, TikTok, performance.athletics. You can find us on all those platforms, and our website is www.performanceathletics.net.
And where is the gym located exactly?
We're located in Houston, Georgia, 9663 Jackson Trail Road.
Awesome. Thank you, Andre. It was great having you on.
Absolutely.
Once again, this is the Mind Your Own Business podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.